My son's name was Josh Manning.
Hey, Dad.
Meet me at the Bell.
No, I got class.
A tragedy of this magnitude, absolutely heartbreaking.
Well, I'm trying to get
Mr. Manning, have you spoken to any of the other parents?
I hate to he was always very sweet to me.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay strong.
If you want to act like Josh never existed, great. But make no mistake, you are hiding.
The more that I know,
I saved this for you.
go.
Music was always you guys'
The
thing.
more that I know, that I want to go home.
Knock, knock.
Hello.
That song was awesome. There have to be others. Someone ought to play them. We could play them.
You're my sidekick, you're my alibi, you're my right-hand man. Could I make you understand? I don't know.
Think you guys could put together enough songs to play a full set?
Voila! Not bad, huh?
Let there be music and let there be thrills. You don't like the silence and you never will.
You are a godsend. What you doing for that boy?
Oh, God.
The faster we go, don't try to wait it, just hold on and never let go.
My son wrote all the songs.
Your boy wrote all that music. Well, what were you thinking?
Darkness, don't give way to light. I wish
You don't need those songs. You don't need me. Keep going.
Shine so bright. Raise your glasses and drink one tonight.
Sam hates the name.
No way. I don't hate the name. Don't blame me. I like the old man in the 3.
I'm really glad that William H. Macy and Company are making this movie because it's a story that needs to be told. Obviously, it's ripped from the headlines, but the media isn't doing their job. They're not telling the complete story. They always focus on the shooter, why he did what he did, could he have been stopped, and then they focus on the victims, but not the people who are left behind, the family members of the victims. And that is, I think, where a lot of the inspirational loss is coming from. And by inspirational, I mean the stories that need to be told to maybe get some action, to maybe do things that would be able to stop these shooters going forward. Now, there have been movies about loss for a long time, since the beginning, basically, of telling stories at all. Forget movies, just storytelling in general, books, poems, etc. But in the past, children especially have been lost to disease and illness. They've been lost to car accidents. They've been lost to war. But this new senseless violence phenomenon is entirely new. The idea that you're never safe. I mean, that's quite terrifying. We've had a lot of also headlines, obviously, in Ferguson about Michael Brown. And there's a lot of stories about how that stuff goes down. But I think, again, not enough attention is paid to the family of Michael Brown. And perhaps we'll see some filmmakers do that. I mean, we had Fruitvale Station, which I thought was very, very, very effective. But again, it focused on the victim, not those that were left behind. And I think that this is an important story to tell. And I'm glad this is one of the reasons, recently somebody asked me about Camp X-Ray. One of you asked me, aren't documentaries more effective when trying to affect social change? And I said, sugar makes the medicine go down. And a narrative film, even when it's hard to watch, is still somewhat the sugar. And so you see, I think a documentary obviously could be made about, families of victims of senseless violence, but I think a narrative film is something that'll have a wider audience and kind of, coaxes people in to see, oh, I like William H. Macy, I like Billy Crudup, I like Anton Yelchin, I like Felicity Huffman, I'm going to go watch this movie. And then as you watch it, you begin to get the message, and sometimes these are the most persuasive arguments in a piece of fictional work. And I think this is going to be difficult to watch at some points. I mean, I can imagine that Billy Crudup's character is going to feel like, to some degree, he's betraying his son because he's replaced him with someone who clearly also, needs a father figure, just as Billy Crudup needs a surrogate son. It's just such a tragic turn of events. But I love the performances. Also, I also think that it's really nice to see a renewed focus. I talked about this in my review of The Giver, because you had Brenton Thwaites spend a decent amount of the film caring for a baby and taking care of a baby. And here you see a focus is on the father and the son, their love, his sense of loss. And so often in Hollywood, they've always, either the fathers don't care, they're absent, or, they have to be the tough one. They cry internally. They're the rock. And they often, a lot of times, focus on the mother. I mean, I'm sure there are exceptions, obviously, but I'm talking about the norm. And so I like this new trend of showing how strong, that it's not wimpy, or it's not, you're not a wuss if you care about your kid. And I think maybe that might inspire more people who don't yet have children to maybe think of themselves in that way. Be like, I'm excited to be a father. I want to be a father. I don't see it as a burden. I don't see it as something that an unknown quantity, because I haven't seen it defined for me by the media. I mean, you have your own parents, of course, obviously, but you want to identify with kind of what it is to be that father. I think that movies are also effective in that regard. So I think there's a lot of good stuff in this movie, and of course the music sounds very good as well. So I think this is a great movie. I'm very curious to see how it turns out, and if they make it something that is effective but yet not too painful to watch. What do you think? Write your thoughts down below. I got a lot of requests to review this trailer. I appreciate that, and I'm looking forward to hearing what you think down below. Thanks for watching. Bye.